Captain Jake Sullivan stood on the bridge of the UHS Leviathan, watching the stars through the massive viewing window. The ship was huge, 8 kilometers long and 2 kilometers wide. It was the biggest warship humans had ever built. Jake had been its captain for 3 years now, and he still felt amazed every time he looked at it. The Leviathan moved slowly through space near the edge of human territory. They were on patrol duty, looking for any signs of trouble. Jake never expected to find any. Humans had been exploring space for over a century, and they had never found any other intelligent life. "Captain," said Lieutenant Alex Stone from his station, "I'm getting some strange readings on long-range sensors." Jake walked over to Alex's console. The young officer looked worried as he pointed at his screen. "What kind of readings?" "Energy signatures, sir, big ones. And they're moving toward us from outside known space." Jake felt his heart beat faster. In 20 years of space service, he had never seen anything like this. "How big are we talking?" "About?" Alex checked his instruments again. "At least 200 contacts, sir. Maybe more. They're still too far away to get exact numbers." The bridge became very quiet. Every crew member stopped what they were doing and looked at their captain. Jake knew what they were all thinking. After all these years of being alone in space, had they finally found other intelligent life? "Send a message to Fleet Command," Jake ordered. "Tell Admiral Carter we need to talk to her right away." Dr. Marcus Webb, the ship's science officer, came onto the bridge. He was a thin man with gray hair who had spent most of his life studying the possibility of alien life. "Captain, I heard about the sensor readings. This could be the most important day in human history." Jake nodded, but kept his face serious. "Or it could be the last day. We don't know if these aliens are friendly." A few minutes later, Admiral Lisa Carter appeared on the main screen. She was at Fleet Headquarters on Earth, thousands of light years away. The communication delay made talking difficult, but they had to try. "Jake, what's your situation?" the Admiral asked. "We've detected a large fleet of unknown ships approaching from outside human space. At least 200 vessels, possibly more. They'll reach our position in about 6 hours. Admiral Carter's face went pale. "Any attempt at communication?" "Not yet, Mom. They're still too far away for standard communication channels." "Understood. I'm sending every available ship to your location, but it will take them at least 2 days to reach you. The Leviathan is our only defense until then." Jake felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The Leviathan was powerful, but could one ship really stand against 200 alien vessels? Commander Amy Rogers, the ship's second in command, stepped up beside Jake. She was a tough woman who had fought in several battles against space pirates. "Captain, should we prepare for combat?" "Not yet," Jake said, "but put the crew on alert. I want all departments ready for anything." As the hours passed, the alien fleet got closer. The crew of the Leviathan watched their sensors carefully. Dr. Webb worked with the communication team to prepare first contact protocols. They had practiced this situation many times, but no one really knew what to expect. "Captain," Alex called out, "I'm detecting communication signals from the alien fleet." Jake rushed to the communication station. "Can you understand what they're saying?" Alex shook his head. "The computer is trying to translate, but it's unlike any language we've ever heard." Dr. Webb joined them. "Let me work on this. I've studied theoretical alien languages for years." For the next hour, Dr. Webb and the computer worked together to decode the alien messages. Finally, they had a breakthrough. "Captain," Dr. Webb said, his voice shaking, "I think I understand part of their message." "What does it say?" Dr. Webb looked around the bridge at all the worried faces. "They're demanding our surrender." The bridge fell silent again. Jake felt his stomach drop. These aliens weren't coming in peace. They wanted to conquer humanity. "Are you sure?" Jake asked. The translation isn't perfect, but the meaning is clear. They're calling themselves the Zephyrian Confederation. They say all intelligent species must join their empire or be destroyed. Commander Rogers stepped forward. How long do we have? Alex checked his sensors. They'll be in weapons range in 2 hours, sir. Jake looked out at the stars again. Somewhere out there, an alien fleet was coming to destroy everything humans had built. The Leviathan was humanity's only hope. Send a message to all departments. Jake ordered, General Quarters, this is not a drill. We are about to face humanity's first contact with alien life, and it looks like they want to fight. The ship's alarm began to sound throughout all 8 kilometers of the Leviathan. Thousands of crew members ran to their battle stations. The massive ship's weapon systems came online. Its shields powered up. The nuclear reactors that powered the ship increased their output. Jake stood in the center of the bridge, watching his crew prepare for battle. He thought about Earth, about the billions of humans who had no idea that aliens even existed. In a few hours, the Leviathan might be all that stood between humanity and slavery. Dr. Webb, Jake said, keep trying to communicate with them. Maybe we can find a peaceful solution. Yes, sir. But Captain, what if they don't want peace? Jake looked at the tactical display showing the approaching alien fleet. 200 ships against one. The odds were terrible, but the Leviathan was no ordinary ship. Then we show them what humans are made of. The alien fleet stopped just outside weapons range. Captain Jake Sullivan watched the tactical display as 200 red dots formed a line in space. The Leviathan looked very small compared to the massive alien formation. Captain, said Dr. Webb from his science station, I'm receiving another transmission from the aliens. Put it on speakers, Jake ordered. A strange voice filled the bridge. The computer had learned enough of the alien language to provide a basic translation. Small ship of the humans. I am Fleet Admiral Zarthik of the Zephyrian Confederation. You will surrender now. Your weapons are primitive. Your ship is alone. Do not make this difficult. Jake stepped forward. This is Captain Jake Sullivan of the United Human Federation ship Leviathan. We are peaceful explorers. We don't want to fight. There was a long pause before the alien admiral replied. Your desires are not important. All species must join the Confederation. Surrender now, and your deaths will be quick. Commander Amy Rogers moved next to Jake. That doesn't sound like they want to negotiate. Jake nodded grimly. The aliens had made their intentions clear. He activated the ship's internal communication system. All hands, this is the captain. The aliens have demanded our surrender. They want to destroy our civilization and enslave our people. We will not let that happen. Today, we fight not just for ourselves, but for every human being in the galaxy. On the alien flagship, Fleet Admiral Zarthik looked at the small human ship with amusement. He was a tall, gray-skinned creature with 4 arms and red eyes. His species had conquered dozens of worlds over the past century. Humans would be no different. Admiral, said his tactical officer, Velinara, the human ship is not moving. Should we destroy it? Zarthik waved one of his hands dismissively. Send 1 cruiser. That will be enough to handle this primitive vessel. We need to save our energy for their home worlds. The massive alien fleet parted, and a single ship moved forward. It was still huge compared to most human vessels, but tiny next to the Leviathan. The alien cruiser was about 1 kilometer long and armed with energy weapons that glowed green in the darkness of space. Back on the Leviathan, Lieutenant Alex Stone watched his sensors carefully. Captain, 1 alien ship is approaching. It's about half our size. Jake smiled grimly. The aliens were underestimating them. That might be humanity's only advantage. Engineering, What's our status? Engineer Katie Morris answered from deep inside the ship. All systems are at full power, Captain. Fusion reactors are running at 100%. Antimatter reserves are full. Weapons systems are charged. And ready. Good. Amy, prepare the main guns. Commander Rogers activated the Leviathan's weapon systems. Along the massive ship's hull, gun ports opened. Particle beam arrays powered up. Nuclear torpedo tubes loaded their deadly cargo. The ship's advanced targeting computers locked onto the approaching alien vessel. The alien cruiser came closer, its green weapons glowing brighter. Zarthik watched from his flagship, expecting to see the human ship destroyed in seconds. Captain, said Alex, the alien ship is charging weapons. Wait for it, Jake said calmly. Let them fire first. I want to see what their weapons can do. The alien cruiser fired. Bright green beams of energy shot across space toward the Leviathan. The crew braced for impact. The alien weapons hit the Leviathan's shields and disappeared. The advanced energy. Barriers around the human ship absorbed the attack completely. Warning lights didn't even flash. On the alien cruiser, the captain stared at his instruments in shock. Impossible. Our weapons had no effect. Jake smiled. Their turn is over. Amy. Return fire. Full power. The Leviathan's massive particle beam arrays fired. Blue-white beams of energy shot out from the ship, each one carrying enough power to destroy a small moon. The alien cruiser's shields lasted for exactly 2 seconds before they collapsed. Alien ship exploded in a ball of fire that lit up the darkness of space. Pieces of metal and alien technology scattered in all directions. In less than 10 seconds, the alien cruiser was completely destroyed. Total silence fell across both fleets. On the alien flagship, Fleet Admiral Zarthik stared at the empty space where his cruiser had been. His red eyes went wide with shock. What just happened? Velinara checked her instruments 3 times before answering. The human ship destroyed the cruiser in one attack, Admiral. Their weapons are far more powerful than our intelligence reports. Suggested, Zarthik felt fear for the first time in years. His species had conquered the galaxy by finding primitive worlds and overwhelming them with superior numbers and technology. But these humans had technology that was clearly more advanced than his own. On the Leviathan, the crew cheered. They had just won humanity's first battle against alien invaders. That got their attention, Commander Rogers said with satisfaction. Doctor. Webb was still trying to communicate with the aliens. Captain, I'm detecting a lot of communication traffic between their ships. I think they're very surprised. Jake watched the alien fleet on his tactical display. The 200 ships were moving into a different formation. They're not running. Away. Get ready for a real fight. Admiral Zarthik's voice came over the communication system again. This time, he sounded much less confident. Human Captain, your weapons are more advanced than we expected. But you are still only 1 ship. We have 200. Surrender now, and we will make your deaths quick. Jake activated the communication system. Admiral Zarthik, this is your last chance. Leave our space now, and we won't destroy any more of your ships. The alien admiral's laugh sounded like metal scraping against stone. Brave words from a dead human. All ships, attack formation. Destroy the human vessel. The entire alien fleet began moving forward. 200 ships spread out in a massive attack formation. Their weapons charged up, filling space with an evil. Green Glow. Jake looked around at his crew. Every person on the bridge was ready to fight and die for humanity. All right, people, here they come. Let's show these aliens what humans can do when we're angry. The Leviathan turned to face the alien fleet. Its massive engines glowed white-hot as the ship accelerated toward the enemy. 8 kilometers of Human engineering and determination raced through space toward 200 alien warships. The greatest battle in human history was about to begin. The alien fleet charged forward like an angry storm. 200 ships spread across space, their green weapons glowing brightly. Fleet Admiral Zarthik was confident that sheer numbers would overwhelm the lone human vessel. Captain Jake Sullivan stood calmly on the bridge of the Leviathan. "Katie, give me everything the ship has. I want full power to weapons and shields." Engineer Katie Morris worked frantically in the engine room. "Fusion reactors at maximum output, Captain. Antimatter injection systems are running hot. All power systems are in the green." The Leviathan was not just any human warship. It was a Titan-class vessel, the most powerful ship humanity had ever built. 8 kilometers of advanced technology and destructive power. The aliens were about to learn why humans called these ships Titans. "Amy, target the lead ships," Jake ordered. "Fire all forward weapons." Commander Amy Rogers smiled as she activated the weapon systems. "With pleasure, Captain." The Leviathan's main guns fired. Massive particle beams shot out from the ships. Forward arrays. Each beam carried enough energy to destroy a city. The weapons were powered by fusion reactors that could fuel a small planet. The first alien ships to get hit simply vanished. The human weapons cut through their shields like paper and vaporized their hulls instantly. 5 alien vessels disappeared in bright flashes of light. On the alien flagship, Vionara stared at her sensors in horror. "Admiral, we just lost 5 ships in one attack. The human vessel's weapons are beyond anything we've ever seen." Admiral Zarthik refused to believe what he was seeing. "Impossible. No single ship can have that much firepower." But the Leviathan was just getting started. As the alien fleet got closer, more of the human ship's weapons came into range. Gun ports opened all along the massive hull. Particle beam arrays, plasma cannons, and nuclear torpedo tubes all prepared to fire. "Alex, what's our tactical situation?" Jake asked. Lieutenant Alex Stone checked his sensors. "Alien fleet is spreading out to surround us, Captain." "But they're moving into range of our side weapons?" Jake smiled. "The aliens thought they were smart by trying to attack from all sides. But the Leviathan had weapons pointing in every direction. All weapons fire at will." The Titan-class warship unleashed its full power. Hundreds of weapons fired at once. The space around the Leviathan lit up like a deadly fireworks show. Particle beams, plasma bolts, and nuclear torpedoes shot out. In all directions, the alien formation fell apart as ship after ship was destroyed. The human weapons were not just powerful, they were accurate. Advanced targeting computers tracked dozens of targets at once. Every shot hit its mark. Dr. Marcus Webb watched the battle from his science station. "Captain, I'm reading massive energy signatures from our weapon systems. The aliens have never seen technology like this." The Leviathan's advanced systems gave it huge advantages. Human scientists had spent decades developing new technologies. Fusion antimatter hybrid reactors provided almost unlimited power. Quantum-enhanced targeting made every shot deadly accurate. Advanced shields could absorb massive amounts of damage. "Katie, how are our shields holding up?" Jake asked. Engineer Morris checked her instruments. "Shields at 95%, Captain. The alien weapons aren't even scratching us." That was the truth. The Zephyrian energy weapons that had conquered dozens of worlds were useless against human shielding technology. The Leviathan's energy barriers were designed to stop much more powerful attacks. Chief Petty Officer Sam Hughes led a team of Marines through the ship's corridors. "All boarding defense teams, stay ready. If any alien ships get close enough, they might try to board us." But no alien ships were getting close to the Leviathan. The human vessel moved through space like a deadly shark, destroying everything that came near it. Advanced engines allowed the massive ship to move faster than the smaller alien vessels. On the alien flagship, panic was spreading through the crew. They had lost 30 ships in the first few minutes of battle. Their weapons couldn't hurt the human vessel, but every time it fired, more of their ships died. "Admiral," Velinara said desperately, "we need to retreat. This human ship is destroying our entire fleet." Admiral Zarthik's pride wouldn't let him admit defeat. "No. Call for reinforcements. Send a message to the Confederation. Tell them we need the entire war fleet." The battle continued for another hour. The Leviathan fought like a ship possessed. It dodged the aliens' desperate attacks and returned fire with devastating accuracy. The human crew worked together like a perfect machine. Captain Jake Sullivan watched the tactical display as the alien numbers dropped. They had started with 200 ships. Now they had less than 150. But he knew this was just the beginning. "Captain," Dr. Webb called out, "I'm detecting new energy signatures approaching from deep space. Long-range sensors show more alien ships. Coming." Jake nodded grimly. "How many more?" "At least 500 ships, sir. Maybe more." The bridge fell quiet for a moment. Even the mighty Leviathan couldn't fight off 500 enemy ships at once. "Amy, what's our ammunition status?" Jake asked Commander. Rogers checked her displays. Nuclear torpedoes at 60%. Particle beam arrays have unlimited shots as long as we have power. Overall, we're in good shape. Jake made a decision that would change the course of the battle. We can't fight 700 alien ships at once. We need to use hit-and-run tactics. "Alex, plot a course toward the Proxima system. We'll make them chase us." "Yes, sir," Alex replied. Course plotted. The Leviathan began to move away from the alien fleet. But it didn't run like a scared animal. It moved like a predator, destroying any alien ship that got too close. The massive human vessel left a trail of alien wreckage behind it. Admiral Zarthik realized what the humans were doing. They're retreating toward their home systems. Follow them. Don't let them escape. The alien fleet chased after the Leviathan. But they were chasing a Titan-class warship, the most advanced vessel humanity had ever created. This was going to be a very long chase. As the Leviathan moved through space, Captain Sullivan sent a message to Admiral Carter on Earth. "Fleet Command, this is the Leviathan. We have engaged an alien invasion fleet. They have superior numbers, but our technology is far more advanced. We are conducting a fighting retreat toward human space. Send every available ship to intercept. The greatest chase in galactic history had begun. One human ship against hundreds of alien vessels." But the humans had something the aliens didn't expect: the determination to never surrender and the technology to back it up. The chase had been going on for 12 hours. The Leviathan moved through space like a deadly ghost, appearing from behind asteroids to destroy alien ships, then disappearing again. Captain Jake Sullivan was using every trick he had learned in 20 years of military service. "Captain," said Lieutenant Alex Stone, "alien reinforcements have arrived. I count 530 new ships." Jake looked at the tactical display. Red dots filled the screen now. Over 600 alien vessels were chasing his single ship. But the Leviathan had destroyed almost 100 enemy vessels during the running battle. "They keep coming," Commander Amy Rogers said, "but we keep reducing their numbers." Dr. Marcus Webb was still trying to communicate with the aliens. "Captain, I'm picking up interesting communications between their ships. They're calling us the Ghost Ship and the Star Killer. I think we're starting to scare them." On the alien flagship, Fleet Admiral Zarthik was indeed scared. He had never faced an enemy like this. The human ship appeared from nowhere, destroyed several of his vessels, and vanished before his fleet could respond. His crew was becoming frightened and confused. "Admiral," said Velinara, "we've lost 112 ships so far. The human vessel has taken almost no damage. Perhaps we should reconsider our attack." Zarthik slammed his fist on his command chair. "No, I will not be defeated by one primitive human ship. Call for more reinforcements. Send word to every confederation fleet in this sector." The Leviathan continued its deadly game of cat and mouse. Captain Sullivan used every advantage he could find. When the alien fleet passed through a nebula, the human ship hid in the gas clouds and ambushed ships that got separated from the main group. Engineering to bridge, called Engineer Katie Morris. "Captain, our fusion reactors are running hot, but all systems are stable. We can keep this up for days if we need to." Jake smiled. The Titan-class ships were built for long battles. Their advanced power systems could run at full power for weeks without stopping. "Good work, Katie. Keep those engines running." The Leviathan used another trick from human military doctrine. It fired nuclear torpedoes into a group of asteroids, creating a deadly cloud of high-speed rocks. When alien ships tried to follow, they were torn apart by the asteroid fragments. Chief Petty, Officer Sam Hughes, and his Marines had prepared the ship for possible boarding attempts. But no alien ships could get close enough to try. The Leviathan's weapons destroyed anything that came within 5 kilometers. "Captain," Alex reported, "I'm detecting human ships approaching from the Proxima system. It looks like our reinforcements are finally arriving." Jake felt relief wash over him. "How many ships?" 50 vessels, sir. Led by Captain Roy Evans on the UHS Thunderbolt. Captain Roy Evans was one of Jake's oldest friends. They had served together on several ships before Jake got command of the Leviathan. Roy commanded a fleet of destroyers and cruisers that were racing to help. "This is Captain Evans to Captain Sullivan," came Roy's voice over the communication system. "Sorry we're late to the party, Jake. Hope you saved some aliens for us." Jake laughed, despite the dangerous situation. "Trust me, Roy, there are plenty left. What's your tactical status?" 50 ships, all armed and ready for battle. "We've been following the trail of alien wreckage you left behind." Impressive work. The alien fleet suddenly found themselves facing not one human ship, but 51. Admiral Zarthik realized that the situation had changed dramatically. "All ships, attack formation," the alien admiral ordered. "Destroy the human fleet before more reinforcements arrive." The space battle that followed was unlike anything ever seen before. 51 human ships faced over 600 alien vessels. But human technology and tactics were superior. The human fleet worked together like a perfect machine. The Leviathan took its place at the center of the human formation. Its massive weapons provided covering fire for the smaller ships. The other human vessels used their speed and maneuverability to dart in and out of the alien formation, striking fast and hard. Dr. Helen Clark, a language expert who had arrived with the reinforcement fleet, worked with Dr. Webb to understand alien communications. "The aliens are confused by our tactics," she reported. "They're used to fighting ships that stand still and trade shots. They don't know how to handle our mobile warfare." The human ships used advanced coordination systems. Every vessel was connected to the others through quantum communication links. They could share targeting data instantly and coordinate attacks with perfect timing. "Amy, target the alien command ship," Jake ordered. "If we can take out their admiral, the rest might surrender." Commander Rogers smiled as she locked the Leviathan's main guns on the alien flagship. "Target acquired, Captain." But before the Leviathan could fire, the alien fleet did something unexpected. They scattered in all directions, making it impossible to target their command ship effectively. "Smart move," Jake admitted. They're learning from our tactics. The battle continued for hours. Human ships darted through the alien formation like deadly fish. Every attack was precisely planned and perfectly executed. The aliens fought bravely, but they were outmatched by human technology, and training. Engineer Morris reported from the engine room. Captain, we're taking some damage to our outer hull, but all critical systems are operational. The aliens are finally starting to get some hits on us. The Leviathan's shields flickered as alien weapons finally began to have some effect. The massive ship had been fighting for over 18 hours, and even Titan-class vessels had limits. Katie, can you give me more power to the shields? Jake asked. I'm already pushing the reactors beyond safe limits, Captain. But I can hold this power level for at least another 6 hours. The turning point came when Captain Evans led a formation of human destroyers in a high-speed attack run. The small, fast ships cut through the alien formation like arrows, destroying ship after ship with precise torpedo strikes. Admiral Zarthig watched his fleet falling apart around him. Over 300 ships destroyed, and the humans seemed to be getting stronger instead of weaker. Admiral, Velinara said quietly, we should consider surrender. These humans are not like any species we've ever encountered. Their technology is decades ahead of ours. For the first time in his military career, Admiral Zarthik began to think about retreat, but his pride still wouldn't let him give up. Send another message to Confederation High Command, he ordered. Tell them we need the entire battle fleet. Every ship they can spare. The message was sent, but it would take days for more reinforcements to arrive. The battle was far from over, but the balance of power was shifting toward humanity. Captain Sullivan looked at the tactical display showing the ongoing battle. Human ships continued to outfight alien vessels at every turn. But he knew this was just the beginning of a much larger war. The battle had been raging for 24 hours. Space around the Proxima system was filled with the wreckage of alien ships. The human fleet had grown to 75 vessels as more reinforcements arrived. But the aliens still had over 400 ships left. Captain Jake Sullivan stood on the bridge of the Leviathan, which now showed clear signs of battle damage. Scorch marks covered parts of the hull, and several weapon systems had been destroyed. But the mighty Titan-class warship was still fighting. Captain, said Engineer Katie Morris over the communication system, I've got the jump drive back online. The experimental system is ready for combat testing. Jake smiled grimly. The jump drive was humanity's newest technology. It allowed ships to teleport short distances instantly. No other species in the galaxy had anything like it. Excellent work, Katie. Amy, prepare for a jump attack on the alien flagship. Commander Amy Rogers checked her tactical displays. Target locked, Captain. Jump coordinates calculated. Fleet Admiral Zarthik watched the human fleet from his command ship. He had lost over 300 vessels, but he still outnumbered the humans 6-1. Victory should still be possible. All ships, concentrate fire on the large human vessel, he ordered. If we destroy their flagship, the others will surrender. The alien fleet turned toward the Leviathan and opened fire. Hundreds of green energy beams shot through space toward the massive human ship. Jump, Jake commanded. The Leviathan vanished in a flash of blue light. 1 second, it was surrounded by alien weapons fire. The next second, it appeared directly behind. The alien flagship. Fire all weapons, Jake ordered calmly. At point-blank range, the Leviathan's weapons were devastating. Particle beams and nuclear torpedoes hit the alien command ship before its crew could even react. The alien flagship's shields collapsed instantly, but Jake made a decision that surprised everyone, including his own crew. Amy, disable their engines and weapons. Don't destroy the ship. Sir? Commander Rogers asked, confused. We need their Admiral alive for negotiations. The Leviathan's precise weapons fire knocked out the alien flagship's main systems without destroying the vessel. Admiral Zarthik found himself helpless, his ship floating dead in space. Dr. Marcus Webb and Dr. Helen Clark had been working together to establish better communication with the aliens. "Captain," Dr. Webb reported, "we're receiving a transmission from one of their tactical officers." "She wants to talk." "Put her on screen," Jake ordered. The main display showed an alien face for the first time. Velinara looked similar to Admiral Zarthik, but her red eyes showed intelligence rather than anger. "Human, Captain," Velinara said, in broken but understandable English. "I am Tactical Officer Velinara. Your weapons could have destroyed our flagship, but you chose not to." "Why?" Jake stepped forward. "Because we don't want to destroy your people. We want peace." Velinara looked surprised. "Peace? But you have been destroying our ships for a full day." "Only because you attacked us first," Jake replied. "We defended ourselves, but we would rather be friends than enemies." On the alien flagship, Admiral Zarthik listened to the conversation with growing anger. "Velinara, you will not negotiate with these humans. We are the Zephyrian Confederation. We do not make peace with primitive species." But Velinara had seen enough. The humans had superior technology, better tactics, and now they were offering mercy to their enemies. This was not how primitive species were supposed to behave. "Admiral," she said quietly, "perhaps these humans are not as primitive as we thought." The space battle had stopped. Both fleets faced each other across the void, waiting to see what would happen next. Captain Roy Evans and the other human commanders watched their screens, ready to resume fighting if necessary. Jake made another surprising decision. "Dr. Webb, prepare medical teams. Send aid to the damaged alien ships." "Sir?" Dr. Webb asked. "You heard me. If we want peace, we need to show them that humans can be merciful as well as strong." Medical shuttles launched from the human ships and approached the damaged alien vessels. The alien crews watched in amazement as human doctors and nurses came aboard to help their wounded. Velinara saw human medics working to save alien lives, even though those same aliens had been trying to kill humans just minutes before. She made a decision that would change galactic history. "All Confederation ships," she broadcast on the Fleet Communication Channel. "This is Tactical Officer Velinara. I am assuming command. All ships will cease fire immediately." Admiral Zarthik screamed in rage, but his flagship had no power. He couldn't stop Velinara from taking command of the fleet. "Human Captain," Velinara said to Jake, "I wish to discuss terms for ending this battle." Jake felt relief wash over him. "I would be honored to meet with you, Tactical Officer. May I suggest we meet aboard the Leviathan?" An hour later, Velinara came aboard the human flagship. She was escorted by Chief Petty Officer Sam Hughes and his Marines, but they treated her with respect rather than as a prisoner. The meeting took place in the Leviathan's main conference room. Jake sat across from Velinara, with Dr. Webb and Dr. Clark serving as translators. The alien officer looked around at the advanced human technology with obvious interest. "Your ship is impressive," Velinara said. "Our intelligence reports were completely wrong about human capabilities." Jake nodded. "We've been alone in space for a long time. That isolation forced us to become very good at building things." "Why did you spare our ships?" Velinara asked. "You could have destroyed our entire fleet." Jake thought carefully about his answer. "Because we believe that different species can live together in peace. We don't want to conquer your people. We want to learn from each other." Velinara was quiet for a long moment. Then she asked, "What do you want from the Confederation?" "Recognition that humans have the right to exist freely in our own space. And perhaps someday, friendship between our peoples." The alien officer made a decision that surprised everyone in the room. Captain Sullivan, I formally request that the Zephyrian Confederation establish peaceful relations with humanity. We have much to learn from each other. Jake smiled and extended his hand. Velinara looked at it curiously, then carefully shook. It in the human gesture of friendship. At that moment, complete silence fell across the stars. Both fleets stopped all movement. Weapons powered down. The greatest battle in galactic history was over, not with the destruction of one side, but with the beginning of a new alliance. News of the peace agreement spread quickly through both fleets. Human crews cheered, while alien crews looked on in amazement. They had come to conquer a primitive species, and instead found equals who offered friendship. Admiral Zarthik was placed under arrest by his own crew for refusing to accept the peace treaty. Velinara was promoted to Fleet Admiral and became the first alien ambassador to humanity. The Leviathan became the site of the first human-alien embassy. Representatives from both species worked together to establish trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and mutual defense pacts. Captain Jake Sullivan stood in his quarters, looking out at the mixed fleet of human and alien ships. In just 48 hours, humanity had gone from being alone in the universe to having powerful allies among the stars. Dr. Webb entered the room carrying a datapad. Captain, we have received a message from Earth. The President wants to thank you personally for preventing a galactic war. Jake smiled. Tell the President that the crew of the Leviathan was just doing their job. And Dr. Webb? Yes, sir? Start preparing first contact protocols for other species. Something tells me the Zephyrians won't be the last aliens we meet. As Jake looked out at the stars, he knew that humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. The silence that had fallen across the galaxy was not the silence of death, but the quiet moment before a new age of cooperation and discovery began. The humans had proven themselves through strength, but they had won peace through mercy. And in the vast darkness of space, that made all the difference.